Hi Aquarius, welcome to your April 2023 Astro-Tarot scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Always. Also, should I say, worth mentioning, if you're only going to watch one, I advise you to watch your ascendant sign. It's going to be the most accurate, because whenever we're talking about astrology, the ascendant energy shows up more on that day-to-day level. All right, before we start, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for what we're going to be looking at are the biggest sort of transits here of the month. Now for you personally, that is going to be, should I say for all of us, the transits that I wanted to focus on. The first one is on the 6th of April. Mercury is going to conjunct the North Node. Now, this isn't a particularly rare transit, but it is one that we need to take note of because it is noteworthy. Now, Mercury, communications, messages, information, our thought processes, our speech, conversations that we might have. The North Node is a point, so it's a mathematical astrological point in the sky, so the North Node of the moon, which represents a fated or destined kind of energy. These are things that we can't get around, very much like eclipses. They tend to change our lives or our path in some way, shape or form. Now, Mercury conjunct the North Node, a fated North Node, communication, right? Mercury. So in some way, shape or form, while this happens once a year, it tends to bring something big in for us. Now, for you personally, this is happening in your 4th house of home, property, family, real estate. This is all to do with the house that you live in, the home that you live in, the people that make up your home, your family, your people, your kin, your blood, your flesh and blood. The 4th house is also your deep emotional makeup, like the deep scaffolding that makes up the internal sense of self when it comes to your feelings. That's all 4th house stuff. Now, as the ruler of your 5th house, this could be a fated message or communication about your creative ideas or projects. I really like this for potentially good news around a home-based business. So if you work from home, if you work with homes, if you work with property, real estate, this could be some fantastic news that comes in for you. I like this for a message about a way of making more money from home through other people. So that could be really nice. It could also be something that speaks directly to your soul. And it might feel like just the right step for you to move forward. Something around a home or property matter could also come to fruition at this time, and it's important communication about your living situation. So, if you own your home, this could be, your mortgage rates are going up. If you don't own your home, this could be the landlord saying, we're putting the rent up, or we want to do works on the property, like any number of things that it could be. Now for this, you've got the Queen of Cups, so usually a water sign woman, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You've got the 6 of Wands, all right, nice. And the 10 of Pentacles, look at that. That is potentially support that comes in of a financial nature from the family or from some person that you live with. Now, the Queen of Cups as an experience is about utilizing your emotional intelligence and energy, right? You've got this with the 6 of Wands. So this is somebody, potentially a woman. The Queen of Cups usually represents a mother, a wife, somebody that plays like a really supporting role. With the 6 of Wands, this is somebody who is going to work for you, somebody who is championing you in some way. And then the 6 of Wands with that 10 of Pentacles, this is money, finances, real estate, property, many matters around the home that come good for you. This is good news around some sort of resources when it comes to the home. So I really, really like this. I also like this for somebody stepping in to help you that you don't expect. So love it, love it, love it. I'm gonna pop that there. And this in here. All right, so for the next transit on April the 11th, we've got the sun. The sun is our ruling luminary, but the sun is light, heat, attention. This is your soul energy, your consciousness energy. The sun as ruler of your 7th house, which is, and your the sun is authority figures, you know, people in positions of power, etc. Jupiter, the lord of growth, abundance, expansion, blessings, also happiness, joy, you know, all of those things are Jupiter ruled. The sun and Jupiter coming together is known as one of the luckiest days of the year, and this is happening for you in your 3rd house of communications, conversations, contracts, interviews. This is in the space of the chart that represents your local neighborhood as well, the place that you live in. So again, that whatever's coming in on the April the 6th, even if it kind of makes you go, okay, got to process this, need to work with it, whatever comes in on the 11th absolutely kind of gives you the positive spin on that. And on top of that, the 3rd house is your sibling. So good news or lucky news that comes from or through a sibling could find you. If you have them, then siblings might be really important or very handy to you at this moment in time. The sun rules your 7th house of partnerships, contracts. Jupiter rules your 2nd house of money, finances and resources, and also your 11th house of long-term goals reaching and further reaching plans. The 11th house is also the gains that you get from your business. So this is really nice, right? Because this combination in your 3rd house means a new job could be coming in, a new way of making money could come in. This could be maybe a longer term plan that you have for your work, your job, your promotions, your business starts to take shape for you right now. The 11th house is benefactors. Jupiter represents people that are in positions of power, you know, legal moguls, coaches, business owners, etc. And this conjunct the sun in the 3rd house. This could be somebody or someone taking a shine to you and helping you see further into your personal future. Jupiter rules vision and prophecy as well, by the way. Could be exciting talks with a partner. It could also about the future, but it could also be an authority figure or a benefactor stepping in to help you financially, or it could be changes that you're wanting to make. So this could be someone says, look, you know what, I see you're trying to do this, let me help you, and here's how I can do it. There's a wonderful sense of community and connection that comes from this that is really appreciated at the moment. And it's also luck that comes through siblings, your neighborhood, or even your own skills, because the 3rd house is your skills, things that you have, your soft skills, even some of your core skills are found in the 3rd house as well. For this, you have the 8 of Pentacles. So that is you working hard at whatever it is that you're good at. So you're developing and honing your craft here. With that 8 of Pentacles, okay, so maybe getting into a little bit of a workaholic tendency. I'm an Aquarius, mind your business. Like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. That 8 of Pentacles with the devil, that's workaholism to the extreme potentially as well. Then you've got this with the Judgment card. Now the Judgment with the devil, that is an old pattern or habit that you're bringing back in. Now on the positive side of this could see you getting really obsessed about being the best that you can be in a specific area of your life and excluding everything else because of it, right? So there's that aspect of it. On the other side of this could be really fast advancement that kicks off from this Sun-Jupiter conjunction in the 3rd. And it's like you say, no, you know what? I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Just remember somewhere in all of this, you do need to watch out for your own health as well. And also, if you work for somebody else, it is a potential that somebody could see this and maybe try to take advantage of it. All right, so you just want to make sure you got your wits about you. On that same day, as if that wasn't enough, Venus, the lady of love, harmony, money, worth, values, diplomacy, and harmony, is at 0 degrees of Gemini. So in your 5th house, On top of that, Pluto is now at 0 degrees of Aquarius, right? This is making, so Pluto, death, destruction, transformation, right? So Pluto destroys whatever it touches first and then rebuilds it way better than it was, to start with. And so what this suggests to me is, and Pluto is a very magnetic energy. It gives you the ability to draw things to you. Venus is very magnetic, very attractive. She can draw things to her. So you've got this double whammy of this very attractive, very magnetic kind of energy. Venus in a trine to Pluto. Now, the beauty of this is both of these planets are in air signs, which means whatever's going on in Libra, this is creating a beautiful trine energy. This is a sexy energy on its own. But between the first house, you, Aquarius, Pluto, and the fifth house, Venus, Gemini, and the fifth house, it could be that you decide to restart a health and fitness goal to improve your appearance. So it's like, rather than you saying, right, well, I've got to get on this health kick and I'm doing this to, because of my health or my this, that, and the other, you're like, no, fuck that. I'm doing this because I want to look good. And it's like, you feel good anyway, right? It's a trine, so you're already feeling good. But maybe you look at yourself and you say, okay, well, this... it's not quite matching all of the zhuzh that's going on inside, so I'm going to do something about it. These are attractive magnetic energies, and Pluto is intensifying you. It's making you more magnetic, even more, as if that's possible, enigmatic as well. It's making you more mysterious and more alluring, and so you have to be ready to utilize this bitch, okay? I mean, like, you better be ready. Okay, so this is where it starts. And it's kind of like, it's going to change you, like Pluto being in your sign, it's going to change you in ways that you're not going to understand until it happens. All right, plain and simple. I have watched Capricorn ascendants, I have watched Capricorn moons, and I have watched Capricorn suns, and all of them have had profoundly different experiences, obviously because it's sun, moon, and ascendant. But like every Capricorn person that I know, sun, moon, or ascendant, they all say, I did not expect half of what has happened, but I'm really glad that it has, as intense as it was at certain periods. In other ways as well, as the ruler of your career house, it could see you getting very serious about your work and your career. Venus as the ruler of your 4th house and your 9th house, could see you pulling in connections of all kinds, potentially of an international flavour as well. It might even be that you're focusing on your visibility, so things like blogs, books, all manner of like publications, publicity in general. It might also be that there's a burst of creativity that sets wheels in motion in a big way. Like for me, if you've been with me long enough, you will have heard me say, when I get those big boosts of creative energy, I call it my Hermione mode. Like that's when I just start creating and things just really start flowing and going. This is like Hermione mode cranked up to an 11. And remember, both of these planets are at 0 degrees. So whatever's being initiated now, this is a fresh start energy. This is something brand new that is bringing amazing things in. And for this, you have the 5 of Swords. So it potentially, you might need to clash some swords here with the 10 of Swords. Okay, all right, I get it. And then the Page of Cups. So the message here is, are you willing and able to let go of the shit, to cut out and off all of the stuff that you know is either not good for you, is not working for you? Are you ready, willing and able to do the Plutonian thing, to get to the nitty gritty, to be really honest with yourself and say, this is what needs to go, this is what needs to be done, and I've got the heart to make it happen? The 5 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, that's potentially a bust up, but it's also you delineating who you are, what you will and won't stand for. And interestingly enough, this trine is happening between your 1st and your 5th house. Well, there's the 5th house, the 5 of Swords, and the 10th house, 1 and 0, cut off the 0, that's the 1st house. So this is about a moment of pure self-honesty. It's about really searching your heart and saying, okay, now that I've got my roadmap, Am I ready, willing, and able to actually walk the path, right? It's all well and good talking a good game. Are you actually going to do something with it? Also worth noting as well, because the 5th house is your children. This could be children and or creative endeavors that bring really wonderful results to things. And then finally, on the 20th of April, the sun at 0 degrees of Taurus, so there's that earth energy, that 0 point energy again, and Pluto still at Aquarius 0 degrees, so again, something being initiated. Sun Pluto square, right? So remember, a square is an energy of frustration and irritation that pisses you off enough to actually do something about it, to make a change. And so the sun in that 4th house of Taurus is bringing your attention, your illumination, and potentially, some challenges to the home that can't be ignored, because it's the sun illuminating your 4th house of your home, your family, your property. Pluto at that 0 degrees of your 1st house or your sign. The sun, ruler of your 7th, contract, partnerships. Pluto in your sign as ruler of your career house, your 10th house, your public status, and how you see something or how you don't see something, right, is how a partner or a collaborator might not see it. There's potentially a clash here, just when it was all quiet. Right, when for some of you as well, I would also say that your home and family might be demanding more from you at the moment than maybe you would care to kind of have, but it is what it is. It could also be that an authority figure within the family, so a parent, grandparent, great uncle, great aunt, matriarch, patriarch, vatriarch of the family, could really be getting on you for something. And it might be as well that they're kind of clashing with you to say, well, this is the best way that you should do this. And you're like, okay, well, thanks for the input, but I run my life and it's not up to you. It might also be that they don't approve of a plan or a partner. Maybe for some of you as well, it's like someone in the family is trying to rain on your parade or piss on your fireworks, as we like to say if you're common here in the UK. With this transit, and because it's at 0 degrees, it's like something's being put into play and you're just going to have to navigate it as it comes. There's a sense that there's a little bit of a wild card energy here, and the reason I say this is because ours is the wild card sign, right? In modern astrology, Uranus rules Aquarius. We are known as the wild card. And so Pluto in your sign is making you a bit more intense and maybe potentially magnifying some of your own tropes. So it's like you could be in that sort of ferocious space where it's like, you know what, back the fuck up and let me get on with it, right? If I make a mistake and I fall on my face, that's for me to own. If, I shoot into the stratosphere and I fly, that's also for me to own. But whatever it is for me to decide. For this, you have the 2 of Wands, right? So potentially considering a big move, one that could potentially have some really great results when it comes to your finances. The Knight of Wands, so really strong considerations here about movement, change, and advancement. With the Page of Wands, that is a lot of fire. So this is whatever you're doing, you're very passionate about it and you will not be told. Aquarius, stubborn, don't know what you're talking about. My best friend calls me a stubborn mule. Like when he says to me like, oh, can you just do this? And I'm like, nope, I'll dig my heels in. And he's like, fucking stubborn mule. Like, that's me sometimes too. I don't have OCD, I have ODD, obsessive defiance disorder. If you tell me I can't do it or it can't be done, I'll do it just to show you that it can, or that I can at least. It's not always my best trait, I have to be honest. Personal brand of toxicity pending. So there's that aspect of this. Another way that this potentially shows up for you is some action that you make you don't have any prior knowledge for. You just know that the results are going to be great. And maybe to everybody else, they're looking at you like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you are spinning your wheels right now. And maybe you are to a degree, but it's still getting you to where you want to be. All right. So let's check out the weeks of your month. So I know you're probably thinking, but Raf, where are the sectors of my month? What's going on? They're coming in a separate video. I want these to be short enough and long enough for you for them to be accessible, but also to be digestible and also to be helpful. So I thought, you know what, if I split them rather than making them like 30 minutes that I have to rush in, it's better just for me to make them up to and including like 20 plus minutes so that you can really drill down on stuff. Like that's what I want to do more of, you know. I really want to, and maybe that's the Pluto transit and how it's hitting me, but I want to do more transformative work with people. That's why I changed all of my services. I want to do more work where we get into the depths of it so that you can use what's coming up in ways that is actually helpful. So for the first week of the month, you have the Hierophant card. So the status quo potentially here, working with or alongside bigger or larger institutions. Maybe there's a bank manager meeting, potentially talking to some bigger or larger institution or company. Another way that this could show up as well is maybe you're looking at your religion or your spiritual practices. The Fool card, new things, places, people and energies for this second week of the month, potentially working with new authority figures and or establishments. So if you're buying a house, maybe you're finding a new estate agents. If you're wanting to move, again, maybe you're finding a new estate agents. Maybe you're looking at a different area completely. You know, there's a lot of shifting and changing in that second week. For the third week of the month, you have the Magician card, very powerful. I love this, especially because it comes up next to the Fool. And what this means is you are connecting with potentially a very powerful, like a power player, but this is not somebody that you know already. This is someone that's brand new to you. That Magician card, you're seeing the results of something that you've set into motion. It's brand new, it's hard work, it already has eyes on you, and for some reason you are very, very visible here, whether you want to be or not. So you got to be on point and you got to be on your A game. And then for the fourth week of the month, you've got the Hanged Man, right? So potentially scaling it back a little bit here in the fourth week of the month. So big sort of like, woo, yeah, we're going for it here in, you know, around this third week. But then in the fourth week, it's like, okay, scale it back, take a minute. Now, because it is the Hanged Man next to the Magician, be careful of snake oil salesmen. Be careful with just be really careful with people that are promising things that sound too good to be true. All right, like you really want to keep your wits about you for that second half of the month, because there's a lot of things that just aren't clear. And then finally, for your moons, so I'm not going to go into great detail here because obviously you're going to get your full moon and new moon reports. But the full moon in the sign of Libra on the 6th of April is you've got the gate 1 and create. This is about just creating. It's about allowing that creative energy to flow and pour out of you. So you remember I called it the Hermione mode. That's like on the 11th, but it might start earlier than that. So have a look at this full moon the day before. So the 5th, the 6th and the 7th of April. Pay attention to the creative energies, ideas and flows that are showing up. Wrong deck graph. And then for the new moon in Taurus / Aries / the eclipse, you've got the gate 32 and endurance. This is a reset when it comes to your money, your finances and your resources. And the message behind this card is if you can get out of that instinctual reactive mode and you can let go of the idea that, you know, if I just be a bit more and, you know, if you keep doing this, you're going to break your manifesting. All right. Find that still point within you that just says, this is what I want. I'm sending that out to the universe and the universe is going to bring it to me, and I leave it at that. This is not check the seeds that I've planted every 5 minutes, because if you do that, they're not going to grow. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon.